Joined now by Casey Bartley from Boiler Upload. The college basketball season begins tonight, officially after the exhibition games, preseason, whatever the hell you want to call it. Purdue is hosting Samford, and that's not Stanford. It's Samford. They're down in Alabama. I only know that because a former girlfriend's sister went there. I remember learning about Samford then. But that's by Birmingham, isn't it?
I have no idea. I think it was by a lake. Tiny place in Alabama.
Just to buy a lake. The Boilers will get their first quote-unquote test tonight, which I don't expect that to be much. It's just I'll be honest, I have not paid attention to their exhibition games. I've missed them. What have they done thus far exhibition-wise?
Obviously, Purdue started off, going down to Arkansas. That was a big game.
Oh, yes.
Sold out arena. Purdue ended up losing in overtime. The story I've been telling everyone that I think kind of sums it up on Purdue's end. Purdue, their preparation for it, they weren't worried about Arkansas. Matt Painter showed them personnel, said pretty much a stat sheet. This is what these guys do. Didn't watch any film, didn't break anything down for Arkansas. Arkansas had a lot of new guys come in, Painter was just worried about his guys doing his thing. Arkansas, Eric Musselman sat down his entire team and had them watch every Europe exhibition game from Purdue this year. Had him break down some Shaquille O'Neal tape from back in the day, how teams defended him to get some strategy with Edey. So while obviously you play a game and you want to win, Arkansas definitely took that more seriously. And I think the encouraging part, it's encouraging because I don't think Purdue could have played much worse than they did. They didn't shoot the ball well. They turned it over 20 times on the road in an aggressive environment, and they still went to overtime. Now, you are concerned because poor shooting and turnovers is how Purdue got upset in the NCAA tournament, obviously. But I think it's good that Purdue got kicked in the mouth a little bit, and they still were able to hang on the road in a tough environment and get to overtime.
And so tonight they'll take on Samford, a much easier opponent, and it will be in Mackey Arena, where I'm sure the Purdue fans are ready to start the season to get things going. What have the guards been like? I know they're a year older now, and that was I don't want to call it a major problem, but that was the weakest link in Purdue's chain last year, without question.
Yeah, I think it's a little weird. I think the narrative, yes, Braden Smith struggled in the NCAA tournament game. A lot of people at Purdue struggled in the NCAA tournament game. Mason Gillis, who's been there for 3 years, struggled a lot in the NCAA tournament game. The two-guard tandem, Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer, they didn't act like true freshmen last year. As much as you want to say they were a weak point, they were two true freshmen who played 30 minutes a night in the Big Ten, won the Big Ten by 3 games, won 30 games altogether. I am going to err more on saying that's a more impressive showing than just one NCAA tournament loss. But that is something that obviously happened. And, they both share similar flaws in that they're not the most athletic. Braden Smith is one of the quicker guards in the league. I think top 3 point guard in the Big Ten for sure. And Fletcher Lawyer has been. Nope, go ahead.
No. Please, I thought you'd.
No, and just Fletcher Lawyer has been, one of the best players head to head since his AAU days. Went up against the top recruits in the country and always performed. That's just kind of the grit he has. So I'm expecting big things from both of them. Expect them both to shoot the ball a little better, not turn it over as much. Lawyer's been good at getting to the hoop. Really turned the Arkansas game around in the second half by getting to the hoop. And Arkansas is as big and athletic as you can get on the wing. So definitely expect big things from both of them this season.
And that's Purdue, of course, picked by most to win the Big Ten tournament. Looking forward to seeing how things get started. I think 11 Big Ten teams are in action tonight. Casey, Penn State, they're all at home, of shocker. And I do not see a game of substance on there. Number 4, Michigan State also playing. they're all playing it. Purdue's playing it has the earlier slot, so they've got at least a half an hour where nobody else is even playing in the Big Ten. That game starts at 6:30 on BTN. Penn State, Rutgers, Ohio State, Illinois, number 25, Illinois, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, Northwestern, and number 4, Michigan State, all getting at it tonight. Indiana, one of the Big Ten teams the remaining Big Ten teams, tomorrow night against Florida Gulf Coast. And there's I forget his name, a kid from Zionsville on that Gulf Coast team. Maryland will host Mount St. Mary's. Iowa is North Dakota, and Michigan, Connor Stallions. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. UNC Asheville. That was a joke. But there's a Zionsville kid on Florida Gulf Coast.
Isaiah Thompson,
Indiana,
former Boilermaker.
Yeah. Oh, he
Played at
transferred from Purdue.
Yep.
I did not realize that. I thought he just was from Zionsville.
Nope, played on Purdue a couple years and then transferred over. PJ Thompson's little brother.
Yes.
Yep.
I did not know that he was there. That's crazy. And I'll tell you the things that you always learn. Stephen Bardo joins us each week, and was on with us last week. And I was, that many hours old when I found out that Stephen Bardo's brother was on the Indiana 1981 national championship team. And I was like, what? So it's the crazy things you continue to learn. But the college basketball season gets underway officially tonight. So looking forward to that and the games ahead, because although this is the time of season most teams do exactly what they're doing here, they're playing these easier games to get into game shape, not physically, but I'll use Indiana as an example. They were down 27-25 at the half to UIndy. Of course, they would crush them in the second half, and then they didn't need that conversation for Mike Woodson against Marion. Played well throughout, and Purdue the same. These teams get better quicker, but they have to, because what's Purdue's first big game, you'd call it?
It's not going to take long. Week from today, they will be hosting Xavier.
Actually, Indiana's first big game that they had last year.
Yeah, so Xavier is coming for the Gavitt games. That'll be at home. And then Purdue gets a week off as it travels to Hawaii to get ready for the Maui Invitational. So Purdue's season, Samford won their tournament last year. It's a rebuilding team, or at least, most of these mid-majors, they had success, so they lost, most of their starting lineup in points last year. But Painter tries to find as quality, lower level opponents as he can. And they're going to have 2 games to warm up, then Xavier. And then they'll get Gonzaga in the first game, November 20th, Thanksgiving weekend for Maui Invitational.
Are you going to Hawaii?
I am going to Hawaii.
I hate you. The Indiana was scheduled to go to Hawaii during the pandemic.
Fair.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was the hang up with Maui, whether it was going to be there or not. Didn't know if they were going to move it to somewhere on the mainland, but Honolulu. It's not going to be a fun flight. Got to fly out night before, stay the night in Seattle, and leave at about 7 a.m. from Seattle. So it won't be all sunshine.